Hi everyone. So in this video, I just want to say a few words on why it is so important to put your spiritual being first when you are wanting to create changes in your life. So when we get into conscious manifesting, we usually get into it because we realize that we are more than what is going on in our 3D, meaning that negative thoughts and assumptions that we had before and experiences that have played out were given us the realization that there is something more within us, something more to experience in our life. And the reason why we have experienced things the way that we have is because we were placing conditions on the people, places, and things in our reality. So when we were, before we got into conscious manifesting and coming to the understanding that it's just our thoughts that create, we were actually believing that everything that we were experiencing in our life was coming from an outside source, meaning that we were always looking outside of us to feel that we were loved. We were always looking outside of us to feel that we were validated. We were looking outside of us to be seen, to be heard, to be noticed, to be seen as important, as significant. We were always looking outside of us to find the meaning of who we are in this reality and what it means to be us in this society. And so everything that was coming to us in our reality was validating us for our identity from that 3D, from those conditional way of being. So we were looking outside of us to relationships, to careers, to money, to all of these things that we were placing conditions on, like they were important, more important than who we truly are. So when we get into conscious manifesting, we are desiring to create money, relationships, and a better lifestyle, and we are desiring to create a life that we ultimately want to continue to experience throughout our human experience. And so when we are doing this, we come into the connection within ourselves again. And this is why it's so important to connect to our spiritual being, because it's our spiritual being that is creating everything in our reality. So when we are faced with things in our reality, rather than seeing things as final, we go within and we tell ourselves our affirmations, we do our meditations, we do our breath work, we tell ourselves a new story in order to experience the new story. So when we look at ourselves as a creative being, we are actually looking at ourselves as a spiritual being. And when you come into your spiritual side more so than your physical side, this is how you let go of the ego of things. So if you are someone who experiences things along the way, maybe you've experienced undesirable things when it comes to relationships or money or careers, you can come into the acceptance of it, that you are a lot bigger than any of these experiences that have happened to you in your life, meaning that you can change them, that circumstances don't matter, that these 3D physicalities are just conditions, they're just thoughts and meanings that you are placing on them that don't hold any power over you, because you are the ultimate creator. You're the one that has the ultimate power for everything to create in your life. And so coming into your spiritual being, meaning that you do things that connect you to that spirit within. It doesn't mean that you are looking outside of you for spirituality. It means that you are feeling that connectedness within you. So from my own interpretation, I always see God as something that we all are, meaning that it's within us. So it's a feeling of love, of bliss, of understanding, of compassion, of abundance, of harmony, of everything that you believe to be of the love source. And that is what God is. And so to be practicing principles of even Christianity and things that you find value in your life, things that actually build that power within you, is all being cultivated within you. And so when you come into the realization, you're coming into the union of what it means to be God, in a sense, to be you, to be spiritual. When you do this, you are overcoming everything in your reality, and then you're vibrating from a different frequency, and so obviously you're going to attract everything that you want into your reality. So when you are if you are someone who is faced with circumstances, understand that you're bigger than them, that they are not they have no meaning other than the meaning that you are going to assign to them. So if you have a meaning that this is leading you to exactly where you want to be, that is where you're going to go. And the to connect always to your inner spirit will always guide you in this way. So you could basically say to yourself that something that you want to create in your life is already done, which it is, because the moment you think about it, it's created. And the reason why we waver is because we have been so used to placing all of those feelings outside of us, meaning that when things are not showing up outside of us, we feel like that's something to do with us, but it's not. It's to do with our disconnection from the self, our disconnection from the spirit, our disconnection from that inner feeling that we connect with bliss, all love, all joy, and all abundance, that inner feeling that you connect with, that you embody the whole God state. So when you're in conscious manifesting, there is a term called the God state, but you are the God state, so you're always in the God state. But when you are disconnected from believing in yourself in the God state, that's where the negative assumptions come in, and the anxiety and the stress. But that's why we self-regulate our emotions, and that is why we accept our emotions as well too, because when we accept our emotions, we are saying to them, we're facing up to them, and we're saying that we're bigger than them, that you don't have power over me, I'm bigger than you, and so I can overcome this. I am always overcoming. And once I stay connected to my inner self and stay connected to who I am within, I am always going to be able to create the reality that I want, because you're the creator. So if you are the creator and we are all co-creating in this universe, well, then you can create anything that you desire when you are coming from a loving, peaceful, harmonious place. Obviously, if you're coming from this frequency, you're going to be elevating in the highest frequency that you can, which is love. And so you're going to be attracting all the people, places, and things to you to create this reality. It's basically science now. It's not even just pondering on something that is esoteric or something that is just a theory. It's science, it's a law. Everything has to conform to what it is that you are putting out. So if you look to the law of gravity, we are being held down or whatever that we are with gravity. And if you look to other things like electricity and the law of reversibility, if there's a one way that something can go, then it can go the other way as well. So there's all these different laws, and even in the Bible it says as well too that heaven and earth can dissolve, but before there will ever be a void within the law, because the law is the law. It has to be the way that it is. And if you are someone who is spiritual and you do read spiritual texts like the Bible as well too, you will notice that throughout the Bible, it will always, things that are done. Your faith has made you, your faith has made you well, and so once you keep that faith in yourself, and you know that there is a greater power within you, you're greater than your circumstances, you're greater than anything that is going on. This is how you will ultimately create a stability and maintaining and sustaining the life that you want, because you will not fear, you won't fear anything. And that is the ultimate goal with everything when we are creating our reality. That's why we say our affirmations, because we're building that kind of confidence within ourselves, that belief within ourselves, that knowing within ourselves. But really all we're doing is coming back home to ourselves. We're connecting back to ourselves, because before we thought that we had to rely on outside sources to validate who we are in this world, when really it was always us all along. It was always just coming back into the connection within ourselves and building ourselves up with that self-love and with that knowing and trusting within ourselves that everything is always going to be working out in our favor. So I just wanted to make a quick video on that, and I'll chat to you soon.